Good morning, everybody. It's me, Darlene, and I have Parkinson's. I would love to get up one of these days and say, hey, it's me, Darlene, and I'm all well. Sorry, can't do that. All right, today I wanted to tell you how I was doing with the paint by number that my daughter got me. It was a very lovely paint by number. That should tell you it didn't go well. It said ages 8 and up. It should have said ages 3 and up because I can't do what an 8-year-old does. The paint spots were too close together and I was making a haberdash mess of it. And there was 3 paintings in it and I had started on one of them and I didn't want to ruin all of the rest of the paintings. So I did what I could on the one, and I still left it where somebody else could pick it up and probably repair it, because I really did like it. It had dolphins on it, and I don't know if anybody knows, I have a big tattoo on my back that's got dolphins and stuff, so I would have liked to have done that one, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. So I gave that back to my daughter, and I said maybe you could find somebody who would enjoy finishing it. And she did. She found a young girl that thought she could do it, and she's probably enjoying doing it. Anyway, so then I thought maybe, just maybe, it would be easier to color than it would be to do this. So I saw Michelle at Chickens by the Lake coloring in a really nice coloring book. And I thought, I'm going to get one of those really nice coloring books. But before I got the coloring book, I talked to my husband, and he thought that that was something he would like to do too. So I got him one coloring book, and myself, I should get your, where's your coloring book, honey? Maybe I could show them. Right there? Okay, maybe I'll show them that one as well. Okay, so I bought color pencils for each of us, and I bought, in case we wanted to have different colors. My set is different than his, so I can intermingle with his and he can intermingle with mine, and we get more colors. And then we got 2 different books, so that was good. So I'm going to show you my color pencils first. I've never used this type of a pencil. It is a little bit different, but it's quite nice, I will say. This is called the Monarch pencil, and it says wax colored. Okay, now this is an Amazon product, and it comes with 48 pencils. Oh, they were also lovely laid out in here too, but I couldn't, with my hands, I couldn't function getting them out of the box. So I had to change their ever so lovely way that they had them, and instead I put a paper towel down on the bottom, and then I just laid them all out. So I don't know if you can see, there's the palette that I've got. So they don't have like a bright red or things like that, but they have all sorts of lovely other colors. So that's the colors that I have. And I'll show you the colors my husband has. Okay, just make a little room here. Okay. Now, his are Amazon Basics Premium Colored Pencils. It's a nice case again. It's metal, and they come all sharpened and everything, which is really nice. But he's got the brighter colors now, so I've got more muted colors, and he has more bright colors, so we can sort of interchange. But you can see that his are lovely, and he's got another second row there too. There's 48 pencils. He's got a second row. It's hard for me to lift that out, so I'll just show you the top row. Okay, then I'm going to show you his book. It suits him to a T. I have to tell you, does that not say Bill? Look at that. That is him from get-go to get-go. It's called Fun Designs, and it's got all kinds of, like, see these, there's pictures that are like this, designs, geodesic, no, that's not geometric designs. Then they got like butterflies. I won't go through the whole thing. Then there's a bunch of design ones, windmills. Then here, look, it's like a a castle and whatnot. So he's got lovely, lovely pictures there. I don't think he's got any that are colored in yet. No. There's one that's fish. That's a nice one. And this is my book. This says Home Sweet Home. This is sort of the way I like to think of my house. It's all nice and cozy and, a cup of coffee on here and, you're sitting in your chair and you've got your book and you got your pet. And, oh, that just sounds great to me. At the back it says Sweet Dreams. And there it is. But on the inside of mine, it shows you how to color it. It shows you can do things like, here's the bathroom, and they've colored the bathroom one in. And then the back cover is something that they've colored as well. See, that's a yard scene. But you see how bright those colors are? That makes all the difference in the world. Well, anyway, I've started. So the pages are all perforated, so they come out nice and easy. So I've started one. And I had my daughter go to the dollar store and pick me up 3 frames. And I'm going to give some as gifts for my children and my brother. This is the one I've just started. But you see, I've got the flowers here, and I'm doing much better with this than I was with the paints. I'll say that, and I've got all around the edge. I was able to stay in the line mostly. And any of these things, if you didn't stay in the line, by the time you put it behind glass and hang it on a wall, it's not going to be that noticeable. But this one says Home Sweet Home. It's got a bird in the middle, and I am enjoying doing it. Disadvantage, to be quite honest, is I can't color when I'm in an off time. And so I can't usually in the evenings do much coloring because that's when I would like to be able to do it. But you know what? I've decided to prioritize some fun time for me. So I'm not going to always use my good time to do a chore. Sometimes I'm going to use my good time to just have a good time. So let me see. I must have had a story for today. What was my story going to be? Does anybody remember? No, I don't remember. I'm going to look it up. I have to, if I don't have it written down, I will not remember these things. Oh, of course. Of course. All right. I've told you before that I worked at a company called Pacific Truck and Trailer. Well, it was a company that built large trucks, very large trucks, off-road trucks sometimes. But we were doing inventory one time, and we decided to mess with management just a little bit. I should have known a little bit better than that. My father was management, but, that doesn't stop me. I just figure I'm one of the guys when I'm there, so I just go along. Anyway, we counted diligently all the parts. Let me tell you, there's an awful lot of nuts and bolts and screws and nails, and it took us a while, but we got everything counted. And then we found a few scrap pieces. Well, what do you do when you've got a few scrap pieces? You make parts. So we took a couple of bigger parts and screwed on littler parts and put on a little wavy thing at the top and a little thing that spun around on the side. Man, we made a couple of really nice parts. Wouldn't do anything. Didn't have a clue what they were, but they were actual parts that we had put together. But you need a part number if you're going to count them. So we decided to make a part number. So I will phonetically tell you what their part numbers were. We went WI-D-G-E-1. T1. And the next one was all the same except for T2. Well, if you were really quick on it, you'd look at it and you'd go, widget 1, widget 2. Wouldn't take long to figure out that that was a made-up part. But when it's all spelled out with the dashes, people don't look at that. So they tried to balance their inventory and they couldn't find the price for this widget 1 and widget 2. There was no price. So They called out to a few people on the floor, could you go and get us this part that's out there? We need to price it. Well, it was all anybody could do to keep a straight face as they took it in. And one of the management people said, well, where on the truck does that go? I don't think I've ever seen one like that. Well, one of the engineers said, oh no, that's the one that goes, you wouldn't have seen it because it goes inside the shell casing that sits just behind the driver's seat. Oh, okay. Well, I better find out how much that is. And he says, well, it's a pretty expensive part, so you'll have to really scope it out. Well, 2 days later, somebody read it, widget 1, widget 2. And we all got called into the office and said, whose idea was it? And we sort of all said, well, we kind of all had a hand in it. And Dad looked over at me and he said, you had a hand in it, did you? And I said, yeah, but only a small hand. We now laugh about it. Supper was kind of quiet at his house that night. Anyway, on the note of widget 1 and widget 2, I'm out of here. See you tomorrow.